Good morning. Hey, Mindset family. It is Jocelyn Alyse, that mindset teacher, encouraging you to change your thoughts so we can change the world. Hey, friend. Hey, today is, what is today? It is Monday, January 24th. And today is a teacher work day for me. I do have a few things on my to-do list that I want to get done. So I thought I'd take you guys along with me. All right, y'all, so the first thing that I want to get done today is because grades are due today at 4 p.m. So I'm actually sitting up at my desk. I'm almost never over here. Usually when kids are in the building, I will allow a student to actually sit at this desk kind of as an award or just, you know, as a spot to kind of chill out at, and they get the big comfy chair and everything. But I am sitting here so that way I am laser focused as I look around the room from the back. Sometimes I'll see stuff that needs to get done, like, oh, I need to clean the board, or I should sweep the floor, I should do this. And then I start getting distracted. I know some of y'all can relate. I start getting distracted on other things. So like when I want to be laser focused on something, I will sometimes come up here, especially if students are not in the building. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and get my grades together. Y'all, let me turn the computer on. But I usually like have my grades up to date, and I'm constantly giving students feedback, which then easily gives me grades. Not to say all feedback I put in the grade book, but I want them to be able to see like what their grade is and what it is, or I guess I want them to see how they're performing inside of my class. So I constantly keep my grade book up. So this is not like when grades are due, I'm never the teacher that's like, oh my God, grades are due, I need to put all these stuff in, or I don't have enough grades. Like I always have more than enough. So literally it's me just going through, making sure everything is accurate, and then going through the process that it takes to finalize them. So that is what I am about to do. And then I think I'll actually draft out kind of like a power list. If you have not watched my video on power list, check it out. I'll link it up above. But I am definitely thinking that I might do just like a power list, like draft it on the board or either on my phone, so that way I can kind of feel for how I want the rest of my day to go. Let's get to these grades, baby. Y'all, whenever I first log in, it always takes forever. Just as I was complaining, she did what she needed to do. So let me be quiet and get to work. So some of y'all might be wondering, some of you might not, but that's okay. I'm gonna tell you anyway. I am actually drinking tea today. People that know me know I'm a hardcore coffee drinker, but I'm actually doing a fast with my sister with Transformation Church, who is pastored by Michael Todd. Some of you guys might have heard of it. They have a pretty big following, but one of the things that I gave up for the fast is coffee. So y'all bear with me. This is non-caffeinated tea that I am drinking this morning. I think, y'all, though, after further investigation, I feel like my body just wants a warm liquid in the morning, because the tea, even though it's non-caffeinated, it's still doing something for me. It's still giving. So you know what, I'm okay with it. I'm doing pretty good. Alright, y'all, so I am noticing that I'm reaching just a little bit of a roadblock with submitting my grades. So in the middle of quarter two, we did receive a new student, and students have to have a grade for every quarter. So we call them transfer grades. Different schools might call them different things, but we have to put in a transfer grade for each student. Okay, for each student that comes in, so they should have like a transfer grade for quarter one and whatever their quarter two grade was at their previous school when they left. But I'm noticing that I do not have a transfer grade for this student, so I am gonna have to contact one of our secretaries to see if they have that information in the office, so I can go ahead and put that in. But because that one student's grades are not ready, I cannot finalize grades for the rest of my friends. I do see like all the grades are ready to go though, so once she emails me back with that transfer grade, I will be able to just go in and complete my grades. So I am kind of picking my brain and thinking about what I want to do next. All right, y'all, so I did take a minute to actually sit down and kind of draft out a power list and what I wanted to accomplish for the day. Now, I did forget that I have a 9 a.m. Training that I have to log on to. So I was thinking like, oh, I could go ahead because I only had like 30 minutes. See, there's a copier now, like I pressed print 30 minutes ago. But I was like, so I don't have a lot of time, so I was gonna print out my copies. We are starting a new unit on the American Revolution, and just to give my students some background knowledge, I had a pack from TPT. It is from Teaching to the Middle, and it's all about the American Revolution and a bunch of comprehension passages. So we were going to go through those before we start our new unit, so that way students have like background knowledge and they will understand what's happening. We are actually reading a play, so they will kind of get more of a gist of what's going on inside of that text. So that was my plan, but the internet is going so slow. Like, look at this, y'all. Like, there's nothing on my screen. I am really thinking that I'm about to go home. We had the option to work from home today, but I thought since I had to get copies done, and I wanted to kind of straighten up the room, change out my word wall, change out my books, and things like that, because we do have books that go with the particular units that we're talking about. So I have a bunch of American Revolution books that I was going to put out and all of those things, but because the internet is not working, like it's really kind of frustrating because it's stopping me from, like, I should have been able to print these documents and 5 minutes, go to the copier, had all my copies done before this meeting starts. But now it's 8 minutes till the meeting starts and I'm still sitting here trying to print the same couple of pages. So I don't know, y'all. I am really contemplating just going home and worrying about the books and all that stuff another time, because I need to get my slides done. I need to go ahead and get my Canvas set up for the week, and I cannot do any of that without internet access. And yeah, like those are like my must do things. Setting the books out and all of that was just extra. It's something that, like, it would be nice if I had it set up now, but if I don't, like, no one's gonna be hurt. My instruction is not gonna stop. But if I don't have my Canvas set up or my slides together, that will affect my instruction and what I need to do in the classroom this week. So I am thinking like it'll be just a Starbucks day where I will go ahead and just go to Starbucks and sit there. I'll probably get a refresher, y'all. I told you I'm not drinking coffee right now. So I'll probably go and get a refresher. Just like, I don't know if you guys have had those refreshers before, but if you haven't, they are good. It's just like a little juice. So I might go ahead and just do that and finish up my slides there. And then I don't know what to do about these copies because I'm not gonna print 40 copies at home. But the printer is acting stupid because the printer and the computer, it's wireless. So it basically goes off of internet connection, and since the internet's not working, the printer is like taking forever to receive the documents and it's taking forever to load up the documents. So yeah, this is my life right now. I think I am gonna do that, you guys. I'm gonna hop on this training in a few minutes, and I'm gonna get that over with, and then I'm going to go ahead and head over to Starbucks and just do my slides and my canvas. That sounds like the plan for today. All right, y'all. So as you can see here, let me straighten y'all out. As you can see, I am getting ready to go. A lot has happened since we last talked, so let's debrief, guys. I was on the training, and while I was on the training, I was able to kind of multitask. So I went ahead and submitted my grades while I was on the training. And I also went down to the copier, and y'all, I was stressing getting my papers out of this here copier with all of my internet problems. And then as soon as I got those out, I went down and I just kind of took my laptop with me so I could still listen in on the training as that was going on. And I was gonna copy all of my social studies unit, have things ready to go. We're talking about the American Revolution, so it's kind of like social studies and my reading are kind of going together, and I was gonna be so prepared. Well, I go to copy my papers, and literally there's a big chunk of my paper, a huge square in the middle of the paper that just didn't copy. So I'm okay, well, let me try the other copier. And the other copier was doing the same thing. All the copiers were not together. And someone else had came up there, and she was yeah, that was doing that to me earlier. I don't know what's going on. So we played with it for a couple of minutes, and then we could not get it figured out. So we both kind of gave up on making our copies. So now the training is over. I did briefly meet with my partner, and we both just kind of checked with each other to make sure that we had submitted our grades correctly, and to make sure that we have things that we're working on together as a team, just kind of planned out and all of that. And then I got on a Zoom call for a Black History Committee. So we talked about some of the things that we want to do for Black History. And you guys know we are living in the COVID era right now. So we were trying to figure out how we can make some things virtual, some things digital. And one thing that we really wanted to do was kind of decorate the school. So we're doing a door decoration contest, and just little things where students can be involved. We're going to do a poetry contest, just some little things that will help our scholars to be excited about Black history. So I am super excited about that. Yeah, so that's all the things that I did, which leaves 2 things off of my to-do list unmarked, unchecked, and I am not feeling it. So I'm just gonna head to Starbucks, and y'all, honestly, I do my best work at Starbucks, so I'm not mad at that. I'm gonna head to Starbucks, and I am going to go ahead and just prep my lessons for the week there, and then yeah, I'll check in with you guys then. Good morning. It is now Tuesday, January 25th. Y'all, yesterday I told you I work best at Starbucks, and yesterday I just got into a zone. And then after I was working, I looked at the time, I was like, whoa, this is later than I wanted to get home. So then I just packed up and went home. So that yesterday I did not update you guys, but I got through most of this week. So I have Monday through Thursday planned, and on Friday we're doing something I call Writer's Circle. So I have my students write, they alternate between reading and writing each day. So they're constantly writing, and they always want to share. So we're doing a Writer's Circle where they will get into small groups and share their writing with their small group. and then they'll kind of just get a little bit of feedback. So I do want to put together like a few forms and things for that. But other than that, like my week is pretty ready to go. I guess I owe this to y'all. Since I did not show you yesterday, I will go ahead and show you what I planned out for today. All right, y'all. So this is my first slide. This slide really helps me to like keep my colors and just uniformity within all of my slides. So I just like use the color picker to get the colors out of the flowers that I have decorating my slides, and then it kind of saves those colors in the recently used colors, or it's like used in this slide, used in this presentation colors that pop up automatically. This is the slide that my students see like when they come into the classroom. And y'all, I build all of this off of like a template, so it's not like I worked on all of this today. I literally just entered in information today that goes with the lesson that I am doing. So my students are currently in a module about the American Revolution. So I have this Thomas Jefferson quote, where it says, all men are created equal and have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So where it says complete QOD, they will actually respond to this quote saying what they think it means and how they can connect to this quote, whether that's text to text, text to self, or text to world. They're making some type of connection to it. And then this is what their journal is actually going to look like. So we always put our learning target up at the top, and then I have my students cut and glue different things into their journal. And I really love doing this process because it creates like a walking, living anchor chart for them where they can refer back to like the things that we talked about, things that we learned inside of their journals. So I let them see what their journal is going to look like when they first come in, and then they know like how to set it up and things like that. And it's ready to rock and roll once we get ready for our lesson. I always give them like this agenda slide, which helps them to really like know what to expect throughout the day. And then if you know me, then you already know about win time. So this is what I need, where I pull my small groups and students have like time to work independently. So this slide pretty much stays the same like every single day. They just know during win, like I check Power School, which is where we see our grades. And then they can do skills practice where they can focus on specific skills to help them get better in their opportunity areas. Then here's just another slide letting them know like what your journal needs to look like. And this is why like when it's time to start taking notes or jumping into the lesson, I am not like, oh, does everyone have their journal together? Like, no, you had opportunity. I'm giving them opportunity to make sure things look good. So before we do our 10 minutes of writing of the day, I again put this on the board so students know what their journal should look like. And this is really effective because some of my students come in late, so they don't get to see that in the morning. So yeah. Once we get done writing, we go ahead and we go over our learning target. So I will talk to them about the learning target. They have actually already written this into their journals, so we can break down the words, and I might like note on top of the journal like exactly, or like on top of the learning target, exactly what some of these words mean. So we might talk about like, what does it mean to integrate? One of my students actually made a connection when we were talking about integrating, where they were talking about how like schools were integrated and things like that. So they made that connection of like it's combining things, like allowing multiple things at once. So that was really cool. And then we just kind of talked a little bit and reviewed like about the American Revolution and activated any background knowledge on that before we even went into our lesson. Y'all, I know this looks real ghetto, but this is the anchor chart that we used as we were working on. Y'all, my bad. This is the anchor chart that I had up for students to put in their journals. Now, I told them, like, it looks blurry on my end, but literally, like, you have it in your journal, so you can kind of follow along with what we have. And y'all, I know, it looks a little crazy, but this is basically all about, like, integrating information. So combining multiple text. And I told them that, like, integrating is literally just, like, combining information between two things. And so I had them, like, fill in those blanks as we talked about it. I feel like this really helps my students to make the anchor chart just a little bit more interactive, where they're not just listening to me talk about it, but they're actually having to think about how to fill in these blanks and the different aspects of what we're talking about. Then we went ahead and we read this text together. So we went through this text. We talked about some unknown vocabulary. We used some of our context clue strategies to kind of figure out what this vocabulary meant. So for example, looking at the word parliament, we were like, the colonies could do nothing about these things since they had no representation in the parliament. And we talked a little bit about, like, what do you think parliament means? What in the text lets you know that, especially saying that they were very familiar with the phrase, like, no taxation without representation. So they knew, like, they were talking about representation in the government, and they were able to, like, make that connection where parliament is like the British government. Then they went ahead and we read this. And then after we read that together, we went ahead and we read another text together, and I went ahead and linked that there. I don't know why the link isn't opening, but it literally went to a Ducksters article. Y'all, I love Duckster. It's very kid-friendly, historical facts and things like that, and we just literally jotted down on each side, like, what did we learn from this text, from the first text, what did we learn from the second text. And then they went ahead and they wrote a paragraph during their work time using information from both texts to explain what the American Revolution is. Then I gave them a little bit of activities that they could do when they were done. So that is literally what I have planned for today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.